Nik and Eva Speakman are with us this morning. Always good to see you guys. And we talk about lots of things, but phobias, of course.
But I don't think we've ever talked about an electricity pylon or a TV aerial. So we're going to go to Sally first of all, and she's going to share this with you, Nik and Eva. Sally's in Lincolnshire. Sally, good morning.
Hi, Sally.
To you.
Morning, Eamon and Ruth.
Good morning.
Well, I can understand. Do you know a lot of people have these in their back gardens?
I have actually got wires going across my back garden.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, tell Nik and Eva about it.
Well, it started this phobia with pylons and foam poles and wires and television aerials when I was about 14, maybe younger than that.
Okay, so well, the first thing to tell you, Sally, is that no one is born with a phobia, so that's the first thing. So what's your very first memory of having a problem with TV aerials?
I can remember walking to school, must have been when I was about 12, and there was a television aerial hanging from the block of flats, and I just had this thing thinking that it was just going to fall down and come near me.
Right, the fact that you say you're worried about it coming near you makes me think that something happened before that. Have you got any idea what could have happened before then? Any earlier memories?
An awareness.
I can go back to when I was sort of young. I used to play in the loft with my sister, and my mum put a blanket across the big television aerial that used to be in the loft then. And I just knew this aerial was behind there. And that's the only sort of memory that I've got.
And the fact that your mum put a blanket over the aerial, did your mum give you any warnings about the aerial, saying that it might be frightening or scary or anything like that?
Yeah, not really. She just put this blanket up and told me that the television aerial was behind there. But I was okay when the blanket was there.
Right, what I'd like to consider is that ultimately what you've done is misinterpreted something that your mum said, because for whatever reason you were in the loft and your mum didn't want you, maybe she didn't want you to knock the aerial and therefore ruin the TV reception, but for whatever reason your mum has made you aware of this and made you potentially frightened of it. And therefore, I just want to consider that actually it's not the aerial that's the problem. Actually, it was your mum said that, but she didn't say it to scare you. She said it to make you aware of it. So what I'd like to consider, if you consider that and just think about that for a moment, then what I'd like to do is maybe look at some photographs, maybe black and white photographs if possible, and just see how you feel. So you just get a gradual exposure to re-seeing them in a different way.
Yeah, once you've got an explanation and understanding, it actually helps. So definitely start looking at pictures now and keep saying to yourself, this is because of my mum, and that should dilute the fear.
Okay, Sally?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay, I'll try that, yes.
Good luck.
Okay.
Let us know how you get on. Sorry to rush off, Sally, because we've got so many people waiting to speak to Nik and Eva. Let's go to Essex and Susan. Hello, Susan.
Hello.
Susan. Look, what's your phobia?
My phobia is driving on a motorway. I used to be a sales rep, and I've been, driving around here, there and everywhere, not a problem. I can drive in London, I can drive in the country lanes, I can drive that. The bit that I cannot do is go down the motorway and drive on the motorway. It's the big wheels, it's the speed, it completely disables me. I can't do it.
But are you saying as a sales rep you used to drive on motorways?
Yes, and then I had a massive panic attack, and I kept on saying to myself, "Oh, this is silly, and and it sort of had planted the seed, and I just am desperate to, it affects my life.
Okay.
And
Susan, can I ask, first of all, do you have either a fear of heights or claustrophobia?
Yes.
Which one?
Yes. Both, really.
Both.
I'm laughing because it's making me feel wobbly.
Oh.
Okay, so, and this is really common. Let me tell you that the reason if you've tried to get any help for this, that it's not helped is because you're actually looking to treat the wrong thing. Usually we find that driving phobias do start from a panic attack, but that panic attack is because of something else, which is usually heights or claustrophobia. So the key to you getting over your phobia of motorways is actually to tackle those. And the best way to tackle both of those very quickly is to find the origin, to challenge that origin as to why what you're you're believing isn't true, and to see sort of heights and close spaces for what they are, and not how they may make you feel. So it's actually challenging those moving forward. And then once you've done that, it's a really great idea to build your confidence with maybe a driving instructor on a motorway.
That's right, because no one ever goes on a motorway with a driving instructor. You pass your test and then you're free to drive anywhere. So actually being on a motorway with a driving instructor will give you more confidence.
But Susan, I will give you a call back if you like, and we can I'll give you a few more directions on both those, because realistically you've got 3 things there that need to be addressed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to. Yeah, we'll Susan, we'll get Nik and Eva will speak to you off air if you don't mind, because I just want to try and get one more call in. Okay, so good luck with that. Let's go to Sussex and Janet. And Janet, you're embarrassed about your phobia. What is your phobia?
My phobia is cats.
Okay.
And, you know, it has been very awkward over the years, you know, when you're invited to somebody's house and you have to say, just asking you, have you got a cat?
And how do they make you feel when you see a cat then?
Well, I am petrified of cats. I'm okay if I'm standing up, but I cannot sit on a chair if there's a cat in the room, because I've got this fear that it will jump on me, and I think it's my face I'm afraid of, that it will scratch my face.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the origin then? Because you're not born with the phobia, so something must have happened to put you on high alert with cats. Do you have any idea what that is?
Yes, when I was about 4, I stayed at an aunt and uncle's house over Christmas, and I was put to bed, and I was told that the cat never comes in that bedroom, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was the cat on top of me looking down at me, and that face has stayed with me. I was only 4, and I'm nearly 72, so it's been with me for a long time.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that you're actually still using that as a reference from being 4 years of age.
Which is why you mentioned the face.
So really important, again, see it for what it is and not how it felt. The question is, why did the cat jump on you? Did it jump on you to hurt you? Did it hurt you? Or did it actually want a little bit of attention?
Well, that's right. It didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt me at all. I just,
okay, so what was the actual reason?
On the bed.
Okay, so the reason for the cat jumping on you was?
Well, it was just exploring the bedroom, I suppose. You know, somebody new.
There you go, there you go. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, so to change your fear, you've got to change your perspective, which you created back at the age of 4. And to do that is to realise that, in essence, you've been feeling really badly about cats when all it did was want to be your friend. We'd like to consider that, because if you change your thoughts, you change your feelings. And having better thoughts gives you better feelings. So realising that even when the cat was so close, it never hurt you. And don't forget the comparison of size. You're still seeing that cat's head from the perspective of a little 4-year-old, but now you're grown up. So also consider that, and that the cat had nothing against you ever.
So Janet, does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. It's just something that seems to be instilled in you, and you just can't shake it off.
Carried it with you.
You can. Better thoughts lead to better feelings, as Eva said there. And I have the same phobia as you do. I remember letting somebody into my bedroom just to see, and they pounced on me. And I was
now he's got a bad back.
Now I've got a bad back. They stayed with me ever since. Couldn't get rid of them. So
Janet, thank you so much, and I hope you get on well with that. Just remember, the cat just wanted to cuddle, probably. Just thought you were nice. And Nik and Eva, thank you as always. Great to see you.
Thank you.